All right, folks. Hey, welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon, July 16th. Great to have all of us back inside our live trading room. We got Kevin, Anna, Carlos, who's a lot of us cleaning up here this afternoon and this morning into right now. Great to see all of us, though, here. Gillis, Bill, we had Debbie just before who crushed it earlier. Actually, I don't even know if he's tuning in right now. He might have dipped out already at this point. I saw Wayne earlier kill it early in pre-market. Leda, great to see as always. She had a couple great trades as well. Got Greg, Uday, John, Larry, Joyce, Janet, Bob, April, all of us just here inside our live trading room. And otherwise, if you're joining us back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works right below me here, just down below at Cyber Trading You. If you are new to our channel, new to our streams, socials alike, just right down there, hit the follow or subscribe button there. What version of Josh do you have this afternoon here? I mean, I'm pretty relaxed, to be quite frank with you. I mean, I came off a nice little gym session just going into the early afternoon. I had enough time just as I got back. I took a little dip outside in my pool. I was like, you know what? Let me see. Like, I don't want to look like a schlub in front of you here on social media. You know what I mean? So I'm actually wearing a very particular shirt. I'm repping actually one of my favorite UFC fighters. He has a retirement fight this weekend, Dustin Poirier. And it's a little timely because I'm going to jump onto a coaching call with one of our students later this afternoon. Kevin, great to have you there, Kevin. And from Lafayette, actually the same town as my fighter right there. So Uday saying gym in the afternoon. Wow. I'll tell you what, I don't always have the chance to squeeze it in my schedule. But yeah, and actually, if you saw me chatting a little bit throughout the afternoon, I got my own little tools and tips here to do both at the same time, right? So I went to the gym, a little lift right there, and actually heading into the afternoon, hopefully the whole market continues to lift up, right? Including this APM trade here. It's, making a lower high technically just off the morning move that it had, but it's up 240%, top percent gainer right now. It's actually making higher lows technically. So I just wrote to you just before we started this meeting. If I can get my cursor correct there. There we go. APM been building through the late morning, early afternoon, but it needs the higher high. It is yet to make that higher high. So I kind of drew this out here for us right before we started this meeting, right around 358, 375, just a couple of just tops that we had going into the late morning, the early afternoon. If it could break above that and then more importantly, flip that nicely into a support, it has to play nice. It can't just shake around or pull back below there again. That would lead me to believe that there is room for this to try and at least get up towards 420. And then we'll see if we can get the real higher high, the real like new HOD before the end of the day here. But, it doesn't hurt for us to put this on our list for right now. If it ends up tanking as we go through this meeting, then we'll always take it off. But yeah, let's just be pretty quick here. We'll go right from top to bottom here and just build up our watch list. I haven't ran the scan in maybe about an hour or two. Using Benzinga here, of course, as well, and also TradingView. But yeah, just see if there's anything new that popped up. Speaking of new, NUWE, NUE, we'll call it. This thing was all over the place early in the morning. So pre-market, just going into the 7 o'clock morning move here, broke out pretty nicely. But even on this push, even on this breakout, the order book is very thin. It's pretty damn thin right now, I'm looking at it here. Looks like there's almost like next to nobody out there on the order book right now, even live. This is during the regular people hours. So even as it was pushing up in pre-market, well, it was pretty much looking like this, maybe even thinner. And the dangerous part with trading pre-market is that you can't set your stop. Not even that you can't use market orders, because we use limit orders here regardless. But you got to make sure you know how to use the market. You got to make sure you know how to use your stop orders. And in pre-market, you don't have them. So it's a pretty crazy move, don't get me wrong, but our bread was buttered elsewhere here this morning, this afternoon. The YHC was actually one of the trades that did pretty nicely for us also. This was also a pretty volatile stock, but at least had a little bit better liquidity on the order book. It's still thin, but better than the other one at least. So YHC, this had a nice breakout going into, like I just said before, the late morning, the early afternoon. It was pretty much off of the $6 level. Listen, it had a good push at first, but I don't mind getting in on a trade at a higher price level if at least there's more conviction behind it. So took a few stabs, a few pokes at it, and then finally it just held better above it. And then that's what led for it to move up nicely. So, hey, even as we're talking right now, what's going on here? This thing's trying to go back up. Yeah. All right. So don't mind if I do. I'll add this back to our watch list here at this point. As we go through this one more time, we'll kind of just skim through and see if any of these just go the other way. But otherwise, yeah, we'll keep it moving here. BRNS, done, pop and drop. That's what most of these trades are eventually going to look like regardless. But yeah, once it pulls back, we're done. Just RGTI. This actually is the ETF for it, number 5 here on my gainers list, RGTX. The equity is a lot stronger. It's just a lot more liquid as well. We love this stock here. So looks like it's doing a lot better job of trying to fill the gap. I was looking for this to happen off of 1307 from last week. Right place, wrong time. Shit happens. And just news came out this morning, led to a pretty good pop immediately. Let me actually pull up that news here because we don't often like focus. No, that's a lot. We focus a lot on the quantum stocks, but we don't always have our ear to the floor when it comes to news. I like to joke around when I say this, but we're all human beings here. We're not the IBM supercomputer, right? We're not that smart, and we're certainly not quantum computers. There's a lot of threat behind quantum, like attacking Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all of that. But the news that came out on RGTI early this morning, so Rigetti demonstrated the industry's largest multi-chip quantum computer. It halves the 2-qubit gate error rate. So whatever errors that they were finding with their problem solving, that's as much as I could tell you here, because I'm certainly not the sharpest tool in the shed here. It's just to tell you that there was some great news that came out, and that's what led for this to finally make that push off 13. Right place, wrong time from the end of last week, but even right now, it led to a great day trade. And if you're Bill, if you're Debbie, if you're Bill or Carlos or any of us here inside our live trading room, you had plenty of opportunity to jump in on this trade, even off of 15 here. Took a couple of pokes or even a shake, but otherwise, the more it keeps doing it, you're going to get that better move. So this actually has a pretty good gap for it to try and complete at this point. Pretty much right to here. You can kind of go down to the lows on those wicks, but otherwise, you can kind of go towards the close of this candle, 1840. Still has a ways to go to get up towards the first line. So yeah, the Rigetti, I'm going to put on our watch list just immediately, and probably going to keep it on our watch list going into tomorrow at this point. I'll just tell you. All right, what else we got here? DTST. This stock, I guess, just made more of a pop just a moment ago, probably as I was swimmeroonie. But just to tell you, though, otherwise, yeah, it's got a thin order book. Would rather see it make a higher high during this meeting, and I'll feel more confident with putting it on our watch list. But let's see if there's others. That's all. Like SRM, this SRM trade, we made a really nice push. I mean, across the whole day, but a lot more volume kicked into it heading into like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock here almost. So I don't mind adding this to our watch list. I know it's kind of shaken back down a little bit here, but I really like this afternoon move here so far. It just piques my curiosity. So is this going to at least double bottom? Is it going to build another higher low? It might just double bottom here at like 957. Maybe it even just does a shake, taking stops out, then one more push up higher before the end of it all. So just, it's interesting. Keep it there for right now on our list. Hey, there we go. That's a nice move. Open. Yeah, okay, I guess I missed out on this one. Open, Fausto had called this one out early in the morning, but this was so slow. You just kind of move away from it after a certain point, and especially when it pulls back like this. I don't necessarily expect for it to come right back on up heading into the afternoon. And again, we had a bunch of other trades that we were focused on. We'll get to Archer here on the top right of my screen in just a bit. A lot of us are in that right now. So yeah, I mean, Open's a really nice category 1 stock, very safe, low risk type of trade. And this could be the beginning of an interesting swing setup over time. Let's just see here our levels. It's holding pretty well above 2023 low here, pretty much, right? Just about, I'll kind of call it that either way. But right around here, nice little support, higher low, and it's back above it now. So this might take some time for it to be a swing trade because the historical graphs still aren't the best. So just give it even like a few weeks, maybe even a month or so. We'll see. But there's a day trade, a little day trade move for right now. I don't mind putting it back on our list. QTTB at the high of the day. Order book, not terrible. Not terrible order book here for this one. Fat gap. Wow. This thing's got a fat gap to fill. I don't think it's going to try and fill a lot of it, if not maybe any of it. It might get up towards this here, maybe around like $6 or like $8 perhaps in a best case scenario move. Remember what I just said right there, in a best case scenario move. So if some big fat sell order shows up here on the ask and spikes the stock down, we got to react to that, right? We can't just hope and hold. But for right now, hey, makes the cut, makes the list. We're going to have a big watch list here, I feel like. Probably going to have a big watch list, I feel. D Pro, it's kind of building a little bit off of this resistance right now, at least trying to. Probably better trades, so we'll kind of keep it going for the time being. The SBET, yeah, I mean, for right now, we're familiar with this trade, if anything. So certainly not our first rodeo on the stock at this point. And this ended up filling the gap. Now it's just kind of here for extracurricular activities because this ended up filling said gap just this morning in pre-market. And then at the open here, basically was like already above it, just kind of dipped into it and pushed back up. So I'm sure it's going to pull back again over time, but for right now, certainly good strength here. This is where I tell you all the time, though, just the trend is your friend. If you're a contrarian trader and you're trying to short this stock, you're probably getting your face ripped off, right? And I don't want you to get your face ripped off. I'd rather you not get your face ripped off. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure you follow the trends. It was building higher lows all day, even on these shakes. It's higher from the last major dip. And that was it. All right, what else we got? UPXI, nice move. Wow, nice little push here on this one. Just about up a buck for the last hour or so. Filling in also a nice gap here too, I guess. Interesting. All right, I'll add it. UPXI, just easy enough for us to put on our watch list here. We're at like number 15. How many stocks do we already have on our watch list at this point? Damn. All right, BM&R kind of helping me out, pulling back at this point, so I don't really like that trade too much now. Circle, listen, if you're in on Circle, kudos to you because we were calling this out as a swing trade or a potential swing trade from yesterday. You're saying, listen, this is a really healthy chart, Bitcoin based, it's stablecoin related, but over time, you're going to probably see this look to make a better move up. If there's bad news that comes out, maybe in a worst case scenario, it could try and fill some of the gap. But it ended up making a good bounce just even beginning yesterday, just beginning after our meeting. Bounced back up, grinded on up a little bit. Then we had a recovery in Bitcoin, and this really took off. So to be transparent, I don't even know if there's news that came out specific to Circle, whether it's analyst rating or whether they had more news that came out. Just goes to show it's not ignorance, but just we're focused elsewhere. We're not just throwing a dart on the wall and hoping it's landing here. We're buying off the big money. So on this trade, thankfully, what's easy to say is that this ended up providing us numerous opportunities. 225 resistance, psychological level, just $5 incremental. The more times it keeps poking it just generally across the day, you should feel better about continuation. So easy to say, but launched pretty nicely from there. No looking back. Just expensive. So, we already have a nice watch list already. I just want to kind of keep it to stocks that are more within our price range. But if you're already doing well on Circle, then we're like basically focused on it, right? So BTBT, nice trade for right now, just a little slow. Also not really in a great position yet with the long-term graph. You get all these people on social media, by the way, if you're on X, if you're on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it nowadays. You look on like social media, see what people are talking about. And you have these people that are in love with these mining stocks. Like it's like a cult. It's like as much as GameStop people. It's crazy. Like smoking crack or something. It's nuts. And I mean that because look at the chart. They're good day trades. They'll have their day in the sun every now and then. But very few of these provided higher highs over the last 6 to 8 months. Iron is one of the few that are doing that, right? CIFR, I think I'd mentioned this from a week or two back. This is a company that is getting some good hype behind it. So there's a better chance for this to try and break out of this area over time. Riot, not really so much. This has been very weak for the last few years. Mara, same deal. So it's just to say that when you go over to like BTBT, it's having a good day today. It might have a good day tomorrow. Hell, you know what? Hey, I don't want to wager on it. Might even have a good day on Friday. But that's just where let the swing chart, let the historical graph prove itself to you if you're looking to take a long-term trade, a swing trade. If you're Bitcoin, if you like Bitcoin, focus on IBIT. Focus on what Fausto and myself are calling out every day with IBIT, with Hood, with Coinbase. Those are the ones that we rely on the most. And again, there's others that will have their day in the sun every now and then. So, BTBT today, we're going to put this on our list. It's day in the sun today. All right, what else we got? Because again, the more you're focused even on those like mining stocks and whatever, listen, there's other trades. There's Rigetti, there's YHC, there's Open, pretty slow mover, but Open doing nice. There's Jobby. So of course, let's go over to our air taxi stocks. Finally, right? That I'm in on the Archer trade, had a pretty good entry right before I left for the gym, right off 1125 there. Now, let me just explain why I jumped in at that point, because throughout the morning and we were talking about 1150, right? See how 1150 yesterday was a pretty strong level, resistance. Just the more times we're looking for the breakout or the poking of it, not only should it break out, but resistance flip to support. So I was expecting this to just hold better. I mean, even into today, just it wasn't so nice off 1150. This thing got slammed back down to 11. I was looking elsewhere at this point. Just, maybe I could have jumped in here. Would have been nice. But just as this began to push back up, I realized from yesterday that 1150 was not necessarily the biggest level. It's a pretty damn big level, but what's larger? 185,000 here at the time or 294,000 here. So this actually got filled, and it was as much as 382,000 shares that got filled in this one dark pool print. So it's just to say today, right place, right time, once this began to push up and above the 1125, hey, like I tell you, you don't want to beat yourself up if you ever miss a move, if you ever leave money on the table. There's just no room in this life for that, right? I think that we like value our time a lot more, just to be like, I hate myself. I'm such a bad trader. It's like, come on. But otherwise, though, for the same side of saying, like, well, there's going to be trades that just fall in your lap, right? So don't like get too excited about that, right? Don't think that you're the world's greatest trader because this fell into your lap, because you just want to balance out the emotion, right? So for myself, I didn't beat myself up too much this morning. I didn't have the greatest first hour, right? A couple of trades worked out, but a couple of us really killed it on these runners. I didn't. Well, this fell into my lap. And that's what you should expect throughout the day. Every now and then throughout the day, you're going to get one or two that just fall into your lap. And it was the perfect time. And from there, pushed up. Now at this point, the Archer is testing 12. You got resistance here for about 113,000. The Jobby trade's stronger in terms of overall trend than like the long-term graph. So just even here, this had resistance at 16 bucks, broke above it pretty effortlessly. Now the key for this trade is to make sure this could flip into a support. So Jobby, Archer, going to put both of those just on our watch list for right now. Carlos, I appreciate the heads up there. That's information I did not know. I told you I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Carlos, a lot more familiar with BTBT. Just going back to that. Saying they sold all of their Bitcoin and mining Ethereum. Well, if they put all their money into Ethereum from Bitcoin, maybe that's even better because Ethereum's outperforming Bitcoin technically, the last like 2 weeks of the last month. So, who knows, right? But I appreciate you bringing that up, though. Anna saying that, or April, I'm sorry, saying that she's swing trading the Brigetti. Well, doing pretty good, I can imagine there, April. You're having a good day today, that's for sure. Carlos saying, and then Neil saying, SBET is nonstop. Yeah. Well, for right now, it's nonstop, right? Every roller coaster does have a top. So let's hop over to the loser side even here. I mean, even Archer is going to have a top at some point over time. So top over to the loser side. CYCC, I would have bet my trading account on the fact that this would have been on the losers list here today, and down as much as you would expect, down about 30 to 40% just after yesterday's move. So all right, so a lot of these trades just kind of washed up. You can't short them, just garbage. So you just got to kind of skim through here, seeing if there's anything just looking nice. Oh, also you got to weed out the volume. Make sure you weed out the volume here too. Don't want to go through low volume stuff. All right, anything looking decent here? Anything shortable, more within our price range, not $753 a share. Let's see, SEDG, energy stock. It's having a bad day today, I guess. So it's at the low of the day, down almost 10%. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's possible it could be a short. Possible we see, continuation going down heading into the close. Probably our best mover on the way down so far that we have. A lot of these trades just not really like shortable, or they're ETFs otherwise. Just looking more on the flip side here now at this point, folks. Last call. Bill, Carlos, Kathleen, Tony, any of us just here in chat. Let me know if there's anything that I skipped or anything else that looks good from your side. Like, for instance, here, Tesla. I mean, hey, could I add Tesla to our watch list? It's not up more than 5%. So it's not like a giant necessity, but it's at the high of the day, right? So it's having a great afternoon so far. So if you're looking for a runner in Tesla, it's definitely the best Mag 7 stock that I'm pulling up here so far. And we're just larger brands, larger cap stock otherwise. Oracle's doing pretty damn good too, I should say. So if you're looking for like a mega large cap, Tesla and Oracle are your two. But otherwise, we actually have a pretty decent watch list already. So if there's anything up like a lot at the highs, looking pretty good. Yeah, Mike, that QS has been a good swing trade at least there, right? Check out Benzinga Pro, SRM. Hey, SRM. This is why we say that we have our watch list already. We already put this on our list at this point. So, there's not a necessity to add anything else. If there's something that looks like this, then yeah, we'll add it. But UPXI, we already have this. This one's already on our watch list. All right. HYPD, a little low volume for this one for right now. Pass on that. Very at the high of the day, not terrible. I'll tell you what, folks, I think that we pretty much just wrapped it up. The two that just popped up on my scanner, we already put on our list. We already did our homework. So on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, let me know if you got anything. There you go, Kevin. Great to see you here at the oh, now you're blocking me, but you saw my shirt right there, right? I messaged you early. Yeah, Archer knocking on that door at 12, right? So you and I both will be on that together in our coaching session. Looking forward, as always, to working with you, Kevin, one of our longtime Diamond students. Lita, as always. All right, folks, I think that's going to wrap it up, at least for us for right now. So, hey, heading into the afternoon from Michael, Kathleen, Bill, Carlos, April, you got Rich on the mic taking into the close. And I'll be here. I'll be here up until likely 3:30 once I finish up. And anything that I jump into otherwise, I mean, we're probably going to ride out Archer, myself and Kev on our coaching call. But anything else that we, see, look at, jump into otherwise, I'll let you know. But, otherwise, hey, if you're on social media, Facebook Live and LinkedIn, Twitter, make sure to again follow us at Cyber Trading U down below. Actually, coming up live tomorrow, Fausto is doing an open house webinar, as we do each and every Thursday typically. We'll be doing a live stream likely tomorrow morning too, both myself and Fausto for you for the first hour. So definitely make sure not just to hit the follow or subscribe button right there, but also hit that little tiny notification bell or icon just so you know when we're going live. We're live each and every morning, afternoon. We got broadcasts all throughout the week. So always a good time to join us here. But otherwise, hey, best of luck trading going into the close. And for all of our members and students, our next broadcast will be here in about like 5 or 10 minutes or so. Talk to you soon. Take care.